Hello Croatian learners, and welcome back to our channel Learn Croatian. My name is Ines and I'm here for you to help you on your Croatian learning journey. This video is a part of our cases series in Croatian. So if you want to learn more about different cases in Croatian, please check out our other videos for which you have links in the description box below. Today, I want to talk to you about the sixth case in Croatian. This is the locative case. So let's see how and when do you use a locative case in your everyday speech. Locative case is the sixth case in Croatian. If you have been studying Croatian grammar for a while, you might have noticed that the dative case and the locative case actually have the same form. They look the same, they sound the same, they're exactly the same. However, if you want to dig deeper into the Croatian grammar, the difference between these two is that the dative is most of the time, it's the indirect object. If you have looked at our previous video about the dative, you have learned that when you want to use the dative, it's in the instances when you're maybe giving something to someone or something like that. But the verb is active. So you're actively doing something or you're moving towards someone and you use the dative. The locative, as its name tells you, expresses location. So the locative is most of the time in the sentence is used as an adverb of place, or it just expresses the whereabouts of a person or an object, doesn't matter. So this is the difference between these two. However, they really are, their form is really the same, so you don't have to worry about, how do I form the locative and the dative? It's actually the same, as long as you use one of them. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you about the instances when you will use the locative case. Now, if you swap locative and dative, it doesn't matter at all. However, if you swap accusative and locative, now that's where the problems would begin, because even though they can be used in exactly the same sentence, they express different meanings. So this is what I want to talk to you about. What is accusative and what is locative, and when do you use the locative? Okay, so you have already learned that locative expresses location. It's an adverb of place, right? So just think of this. In a sentence, if the sentence in the verb in the sentence is expressing some sort of action, some sort of movement, then definitely always go with the accusative case. However, if the verb in the sentence expresses, if it's a stationary verb, so if there is no movement, no action, then use the locative. I'm saying this because, as you will see, the accusative and the locative share some common prepositions, and this is where the problems can start. There are common prepositions that I want to talk to you about, and I will show you when to use the accusative and when to use the locative. So let's talk about the most common prepositions in the locative case. So the most common prepositions in the locative are u, na, o, and po. The first three, u, in, na, on, o, about. I want to talk about all four of these, but all four that I've named at the beginning, but these three are the three prepositions which the locative actually shares with the accusative. Now, again, simply remember, if the verb expresses some sort of movement, some sort of action, go with the accusative case. If the verb is a stationary verb, If it just expresses a whereabouts of somebody or something, then use the locative. Let's look at some examples so it will be clearer. A common phrase to be late to something, okay? You would use the preposition on, okay? Na. So let's look at the example, I am running late for the train, okay? In Croatian, you would say kasnim na vlak. Now look at this look at this noun vlak or train. This noun is going to be in the accusative case. Even though you're using the preposition on, which sort of expresses the location, the whereabouts, you're using the verb which expresses movement. So you're running late. You're late for something, okay? So you need to use the accusative. Kasnim, I'm running late. Kasnim na vlak. I'm running late for the train. However, if you want to say that there are many people on the train, so notice you're using again the same preposition, but you're using a different case because the verb is stationary. You are simply expressing the location of these many people. So you would say, na vlaku je mnogo ljudi. Okay, so notice these two sentences, kasnim na vlak and na vlaku je mnogo ljudi. The first one is accusative, movement. The second one is locative, location. Okay, so this is a very, very common preposition that you would use for either one of these. So just remember active and stationary verb, accusative, and the locative. Okay, here's a little test for you. Are you ready? Okay, so the word for a meeting in Croatian, the nominative is sastanak. Okay, the accusative is the same as the nominative, sastanak, and the locative is sastanku. Okay, so tell me, how would you say which one would you use in this sentence? You have to come to the meeting. Okay, I will help you with the first part of the sentence. You also use the same preposition on. So you would say you have to come on a meeting. In Croatian, you would say moraš doći na. Which one would you use? Accusative or the locative? Right, you would use the accusative. You have to come, so you're moving, okay? Moraš doći na sastanak. Excellent. Okay, but let's look at this sentence. Again, there are many people on the meeting, okay? Or at the meeting. Oh, I'm not good with prepositions in English. So there are many people at the meeting, I think is the correct one. Okay, so what would you say? Would you say na sastanak or na sastanku? Would you use the locative or the accusative? You would use the locative. Exactly. Na sastanku je mnogo ljudi. I think you got this, right? It's simple enough. Active, use the accusative. Stationary, use the locative. So the same happens with the preposition in, okay? If you're moving, action, use the accusative. If it's stationary, if it's just location, use the locative. So let's practice. Let's say that you are going to the movies, okay? Now notice that the prepositions in Croatian can be translated with several different prepositions in English. This is why it's always the easiest to learn these things, to learn this grammar as an input, as you're listening to the locals, as you're listening to the news, or as you're watching a movie or something. You just need to listen and to expose yourself to a lot of input, because because the easiest way to really learn a language is if you're actually listening and then if you're trying to speak as soon as possible. Well, the reason why I'm saying this is because if you want to use the preposition in, okay, say you want to say a sentence, I'm going to the movies. You would actually say in Croatian, the literal translation would be, I am going in the movies, in the movie theater. That's the logic behind it. So which one would you use then? If you want to say, I'm going to the movies, would you use the accusative or the locative? Correct. You would use the accusative because you're moving, right? So I'm going to the movies would be idem u kino. Kino, the movies, the theater, the movie theater, the cinema, is in the accusative case. It's the same as the nominative. However, if you want to say that you saw a great movie at the theater, at the cinema, you would use the locative. Okay? So, let's say you want to say I saw a great movie in the cinema. You would say gledao sam odličan film u kinu. Kinu would be the locative case. So I think you have the general idea of how this works. You just need to remember how to form the locative, how to form the accusative, and then you will know when to use which one. There's another video that talks about how to form the locative case, so make sure you check that out. There's a link in the description below. Okay, so let's talk about the third preposition. The third preposition, o, or about. This is a common preposition for the locative case. Even when you have, you know how the Croatian cases have different questions that you ask to determine which case it is. Even in these questions for the locative, you have about what or about whom. So this is a common preposition for the locative. So whenever you are talking about someone, use the locative case. For example, they always talk about politics. Okay, the word politics would be locative. Uvijek govore o politici. Okay, so I think this is really straightforward. You just need to learn how to form the locative case, which is the same as the dative, and then use it in the sentence whenever you are using the preposition o, which is a preposition about. The fourth preposition, which is very common for the locative case, is the preposition po. Now, this preposition is actually very hard to translate into English because it can be translated with several different prepositions. The most common ones are by or according to, and so on. So let's look at some examples and it'll be clearer. A very common use of this preposition is if you want to say, in my opinion. Okay? So the phrase, in my opinion, you would say po mom mišljenju. Again, mom mišljenju, both of these words, the possessive pronoun and the noun, are both in the locative case. So, po mom mišljenju, in my opinion, or according to my opinion. So let's say you want to say, in my opinion, cooking is easy. Okay? You would say, po mom mišljenju, locative, kuhati je lako. Okay? So whenever you have this preposition po, just use the locative. What are some other instances? So you can say if you're naming someone after somebody, you would also use po. So for instance, I named my son after my grandfather. You would say, sina smo nazvali po djedu. Okay? So I think this is very clear. The only thing that might be tricky for you is to actually understand when to use po. Again, there are certain phrases in which you would use this preposition. The easiest way, again, is just to expose yourself to different sentences, to different maybe podcasts, audios, whatever you can get your hands on, and notice when these prepositions are used. But another common way to use the preposition po is to express maybe to express time. For example, it's best to travel by day, okay, by daylight, right? You would say najbolje je putovati po danu, okay? So just remember, whenever you have po, use the locative. Again, just to wrap it up, the 4 prepositions that use the locative: u, in, na, on, o, about, and po, by, according to, after, and so on. These prepositions are used with the locative case. Again, pay attention. If the verb is active, use the accusative. If the verb is stationary, use the locative. That was it for this video. This is all you need to know about the locative case in order to use it in your everyday speech. I encourage you to use whatever you learn, because the more you use it, the quicker you learn it. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I will be here for you to help you answer all the questions that you might have. Also, give us a like button if you like this video, and share it with your friends, and please subscribe, because there will be more videos coming. Also, don't forget to check out the video on how to form the locative case. You might already know, because it's the same as the dative, but there is a separate video for you to learn that as well. If you have any ideas on what would help you to learn Croatian better and faster, please give us a comment below. Give me some ideas. What kind of videos help you best? How do you learn the best? And I will try to make more videos that will help you to learn Croatian quicker. Again, do not give up. It might be tricky sometimes, but you got this, and I'm here for you to help you through it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day and continue learning Croatian. Sretno and doviđenja!